Comrades, we must fight for gender justice and be on the side of our women. Comrades, in the EFF, there is no lesbian, there is no gay. We are all human beings. The rights of the lesbians and the rights of gays and all LGBTQIA plus are human rights. If you are EFF and you isolate and discriminate LGBTQIA plus, you are not a fighter, you are a sellout. What is your issue with people choosing to live their own life? EFF is a war of LGBTQIA plus. This is a home of everyone. Comrades, we must.
But what if, and this is hypothetically speaking, okay? Like, I'm not trying to start that. What if a white farmer happens to be LGBTQIA plus? How is the EFF government going to solve that? Because you're in a conundrum now. You're in a little bit of a predicament, aren't you? I mean, on one hand, this is a white farmer, but on the other hand, he is part of the LGBTQIA plus. This signals to me that this is how you ask America for money. Like, this is how you ask the West for money. You know, it's kind of like the rain. I mean, it was raining, so I will tell you why this is amusing to me. Because obviously, when it comes to gay rights in Africa, there is an issue. It is the continent with the most nations that criminalizes homosexuality. And in some places, death is the sentence. So, if anything needs gay rights, it would be Africa, right? Again, we're not talking about like banning propaganda like you have in Hungary, or that people who happen to be gay, they're getting the stink eye on the street. No, like criminalize, like you go to prison. Okay, like this is what happens in many nations in Africa. I don't know the exact situation of South Africa, however, but I do know that it's bizarre for him to say LGBTQIA plus, because every single person that I talk with in South Africa just says gay. They say gay rights, gay. This. So when I see this, it's almost like the ideology is being imported, right? Like it's not something natural. It's not something grassroots. And the problem is when you take it from 0 to 100, you're not going to get a lot of compliance. You're not going to get a lot of people that follow, because first you have to change the culture, and first you have to convince and persuade people before you can actually have policy. So basically what's going to happen is that this, to me, sounds like it's just a show. It's just like them saying the things in order to get something, right? It doesn't seem like it's coming from the heart, if you will. It's not a natural grassroots movement, what we're seeing in South Africa. I may be wrong, okay? And if I'm wrong, I'm willing to admit, but I don't think I am. I'm genuinely looking at this as if they're importing an ideology, either because they want to appease someone or because they are being told that you need to import this ideology if you want something in return. Probably money, right? Now the thing with the EFF is that if you're looking at their history, it's a little bit hilarious to see them talk about, oh, we're all human beings and stuff. Because these are the types of articles that this man keeps appearing in the media. I mean, this was from 3 days ago, and Elon Musk blasts Malema again for calling off genocide for 4 million whites. So basically, if he sees everyone as human, right, like there's no distinction, and he wants to genocide these people, all I'm saying is that he may be a little bit problematic. Like, I don't think he's going to be the champion and advocate of human rights that people claim he will be. No, what I think they were going to do is they're going to create a series of laws and regulations that thought police people, and they're going to be built around the LGBTQIA plus political umbrella, identity politics, right? And they're going to use it as a weapon against their detractors. So their political opponents, citizens that are inconvenient, that's what they're going to use. They're going to weaponize this and move it away from what it's supposed to accomplish into what every single socialist government wants, which is more power to themselves. Take into account that this individual got in a controversy a couple of months ago for singing Kill the Boer, shoot to kill, pow, pow, pow. And that actually went into The Guardian, that actually went on the BBC. It made international news, right? Because the question from Western countries was like, well, why are we giving money to, I mean, you know, like, is their country, you know, if that's what they want to sing, that's fine. But why is my taxpayer money going as foreign aid to a country that sings something like that? You know, we don't sing something like that here with our minorities. So why, right? The ADL apparently found no problem with it. Apparently it's like a historical song or something. And my interpretation of this is like, if you look in the United States during World War II, there were a lot of Disney movies that treated the Japanese, dare I say, with some disrespect. Like, if you're aware of any of the old Disney films and how they treat Japanese people, a little bit abhorrent, you know, very stereotypical, very stigmatizing, so sorry please, you know, that type of thing. They banned those movies after the World War II, right? Like, after the things ended and everything was fine, they banned it. But anyway, right, it is what it is. So, what is this? You know, like, what exactly is the EFF government promoting LGBTQIA+. Well, apparently, it's going to raise awareness on the specific needs of LGBTQIA+ people. It's going to monitor and address homophobic hate crimes and introduce harsher sentences for such crimes. They will introduce X-gender markers in official documents and enable non-binary people to be legally recognized. The government will provide training and health and social professional staff for identities that address barriers faced due to sexual orientation, trans status. This will extend to the amendment of sex description laws that will empower the Home Affairs Department to expedite ID alteration. So in other words, more money to the government, more opportunities for corrupt politicians to steal from the taxpayer, more opportunities from corrupt politicians to put their children into office, into these new positions. And this is the one that I love the most. The EFF government will provide necessary funding for inclusive education. Right, so you have a nation which is experiencing power outages, which is experiencing great poverty, and they're deciding, yeah, we're going to fund money so that inclusive education gets promoted. It's kind of like Germany, you know, how many seats they have? I think they have like 4 seats for nuclear fusion and 144 for gender studies. But at least I understand Germany because it's a rich and wealthy nation, so it can afford it. But when you're looking at Africa, right, if you don't have money for electricity, the last thing you want to do is invest money in something that is frivolous. Like surely this can be done in other ways, right? Like you can just have like someone on TV explain about homosexuality and that's it. You know, you don't really need to pay an army of professors in order to do it. They did that at Kabul as well, didn't they? Like when the Americans were in Afghanistan, like Kabul University, this is what they were teaching the new generation. Didn't work, by the way. Because again, the change needs to come grassroots. It needs to come from the culture. You need to persuade people. The change cannot come top down, like you dictate to people what they say. No, it's not going to work. But to me, like again, this is very similar to what's happening in the United States. Like, you have Detroit, which is a state that, Jesus, like when I even look at it on YouTube, I don't believe it. It's like, it looks worse than Romania. And I'm like, well, it's in America, right? And yet the US government is like giving taxpayer money to fund gender studies in Pakistan. Like, that doesn't make any fucking sense, does it? Right? Like, why aren't you funding Detroit? Why don't you first, like, fix your own problem? Like, you know, fix the homeless situation with California before, I mean, of course, gender studies in Pakistan is a noble endeavor. I mean, humanity craves and needs gender studies in Pakistan from the American taxpayer, of course. But, like, first fix the American problems that the taxpayer is facing with so that he can pump more money into gender studies in Pakistan, right? At least that's how I would see it. Also, a new word just dropped, biphobia. I didn't know biphobia is a thing, but apparently it is. So, anyway, right, I just wanted to let you know what's happening in South Africa. I found it very interesting. Let me know if you guys think that they will actually manage to tackle with this very difficult problem that South Africa is facing. And if this individual is the man for the job. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.